All right, in this video, we're going to go through the Universal Data Grid's main features. And so the features are mainly broken into three sections. We have our table banner actions here across the top. The second section is our column header actions for each column. And the third section is the row actions for each row. Now, these features show up depending on how your admin has this configured. Let's go across the top here, starting with the first table banner action, the object switcher. So I can click this and select an object. So let's say I want to see opportunities, and it defaults to the name field, and it says up here that I can add additional fields by going here. So maybe I want account ID, owner ID, stage, amount, and close date. So I add my fields here. I can reorder them by dragging and dropping if I wish, and then I can click apply. And now my grid is going to have the fields that I added. And then what I can do from here, I can sort, I can group by. So maybe I want to group by stage. I can see all the groupings here. I can click into a grouping to filter on that grouping and only show me records for that grouping. I can save my view. So prospecting ops, I'm going to call this one. And now my view is saved, so I can come back to it later. And here, this saved view selector, you can see all my other views that I've created in the past. Like I've created one for orders, I've created one for contacts, etc. I can delete the view if I wish. Let me go back to the one that I saved earlier, prospecting ops. I can add additional filters if I want, like maybe I want to say amount is greater than 100,000. And my additional filter has been applied. I can apply filtered logic if I want. I can go into child object filters, like only show me opportunities that have quotes or not have quotes. And then I can filter on, I can apply a filter on that child object as well if I wish. Coming back across the top here, I can refresh the data. I can inline edit. So I can inline edit. I can mass edit the column. And then I can bulk edit multiple columns at once. So let's do these two. And then if I wanted to commit those changes, I'd click the checkbox. But I'm going to revert. And I can search across the table if I want. So a more broad filter here. I can go full screen. I can create a new record. If I want, I can export the data to a CSV. I can export all, records in the data set, the visible, or if I had selected rows, I could export those as well. I can go to the standard list view, so the out-of-the-box list view if I want. I can collapse the table. And then if we get into our column actions, column header actions here, I can freeze the first column. And I don't have enough columns here to show the frozen column header working. So let's add some more columns. To induce a horizontal scroll. Let's get out of full screen mode. Let's add a few more columns here. Description, fiscal period, fiscal quarter, fiscal year, forecast category. This should give me enough columns to showcase the frozen column feature. Now, as I scroll to the right, you can see that first column frozen, and as I scroll down, you can see the column headers frozen. So let me unfreeze the first column. And you have other column header actions, like you can move columns around. You can remove columns from the view. You can look at help text, and you can do a few other things in here as well. Adjust the width. Now if we get into our row actions over here on the right, so I can quick view the broader record. This pulls from the page layout and it respects record type. I can edit the broader record if I wish. I can clone the record. I can share the record. You could enter in a user here to share with if you wanted to. I can look at, well, I can delete the record. I can look at related lists in a modal without leaving the tab. I can send email, I can upload files, and I can change owner, all per each row, depending on how your admin has this configured. So let's go to an account record and show the upgraded related lists on the account. So here on the related tab, you can see the related lists on this account, and you have all the features that we showed in the last screen, except for being able to save the view, because it hasn't been configured on these instances to save the view. And if your admin has it configured, you can also launch business automation flows from the grid here. So if the admin had it configured to launch flows, you could launch flows with a button that appears right here that looks like a flow symbol. And then you could also launch flows from the rows as well. So on this one, the admin's configured a business flow to be able to be launched from the row. And this is just a simple flow here for demonstration purposes. We can see the record name, the record ID, and the object name. And the grid can also appear in flows if your admin has it configured that way.